everyone, it's Di here and welcome to day one of Christmas table favours. Today I'm going to show you how to make this little pouch, excuse me, that holds a little chocolate, and it's just so easy to do, and I'm going to show you how to do it two ways, because you can do this on your envelope punch board if you have one, but you can make it without one if you don't. So with the instructions, the written tutorial, it will have both ways on there. This measures 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, so it just sits on your dinner plate, or by up the top here. You could put somebody's name here rather than happiest Christmas wishes, or what I think I'll put Merry Christmas on my next ones. So you could just pop it like that, pop someone's name on there, so you could put Mary Jo or Stephen or whoever on there if you're putting them as tables. Guest places. So, and this is really easy to do. It's got this belly band, and I'll pop this belly band off, and it just looks like a little pouch like this, and it opens up and it has a little saying inside. This one says, "Remembering you this season with warm thoughts and a wish for everything merry," and it holds a little chocolate. Now these are from Aldi. They're the Connoisseur Fine Chocolate Mint Thins, and they fit in there just perfectly, but any mint thins or any of those sort of things. And it folds up so easily. You just fold so the point goes in, and you go clockwise right around, and the last one folds under, just tucks under like that, and you pop your belly band on it, and voila, that's it, it's all done. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to make this twice, once using the envelope punch board and once doing it by hand. So on my instruction sheet, my written tutorial sheet, it will have the measurements for doing it by hand as a little footnote at the bottom. Okay, so let's pop that on one side, and we will start with our one that we're going to do on the punch board first. Now I'm actually going to do, when I do the stamping, I'll do all my stamping at the same time. So I'll get my pieces of card in. So they're over here for that. So what you're going to need is very little, as you can see. You're going to need a piece of designer series paper. Now it can be double-sided like this, or single-sided if you've got it. It doesn't really matter. And this needs to be 6 by 6, and you do need to make sure that you check it, because some of the papers are just a little out. This one is perfect, so that's great. So it's 6 by 6 piece of designer series paper. Then you'll need a piece for the inside that measures 3 inches by 3 inches, along with the piece that goes on the top that measures 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 inches. You'll need a belly band that measures 8 1/4 inches by 1 inch, and then a piece of scrap white for doing your stamping on that measures 1 inch wide by whatever length you're doing your stamping your little greeting, or you're writing your name on them. So I've got a couple of pieces there, so I can do them and chop them down. So I'm popping those pieces over here, because when I do my stamping, I will stamp the whole lot together, so we can just go through the basics. So let's pop these over here. Let's pop them over that side, and we will bring in our envelope punch board. And mine's one of these ones that opens up, because it's a 1 2 3 punch board. And I'm going to pop this in here at the 2 5/8 mark. 2 5/8 mark. And we're not going to punch. All we're doing is scoring along that score line, the 2 5/8. And we're going to turn it, and we're going to measure it, put it back in here at the 2 5/8 mark again, and we're going to score again. And we're going to turn it once more and put it in here at the 2 5/8 mark and score once more. And then on the fourth side, we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to put it in here, and we're going to score it at the 2 5/8 mark. So, and that's all the scoring we're going to do on the punch board. So let's pop that punch board out of the way, and you will see, it's not very easy to see because the paper is not really easy to see on. You will see that you have triangles in all these spots here. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut them triangles out. So we're going to cut down to one score line and across to the other. Because this is bigger than the punch, that's why we don't punch it. So we're going to cut them out like so. I'm going to cut out like so, all the way around on all four sides. And some of them are really not that easy to see. Some of the papers it's very hard to see on. Okay, so we'll cut all of those out like that now. So now we need our other scoreboard. Let's move that board out of the way, bring this one in. And we're going to score this. Now because we're doing design series paper, I think I've told you before, we have the thin end and a thick end. We need to use the thick end this time, because if we use the thin end it can cut through the paper. And we're going to score down at the 3/4 of an inch mark, right down to just to that corner there of the cutout that you've done. So 3/4 of an inch mark down to there, turn it 3/4 of an inch mark down to the first one, turn it 3/4 of an inch, turn, and 3/4 of an inch, whoops, turn. So the bottom part here on each one of these, when we go back this way, this one's free, this one's free, and this one's free. So we've only got the score lines on the one side. Okay, so we'll pop the scoreboard out of the way, and now we can now fold and burnish this. Now when we're folding, we need to make sure when we turn it over that we've actually cut away our score lines here on these pieces. If we haven't, it's not going to fold very easily. So we're going to fold whichever side you want facing out. We're going to do our folds into a valley into the middle with the 4 pieces along the edge there. These other ones that we've scored that are on the other corners, we're going to turn this over and we're going to fold them outwards. Now if you don't like the pattern you've got here, you could put some washi tape on there. You know, you can buy that nice gold glittery washi tape or something like that, so that'll be really, really nice. So that is our main box. So we're going to bring in our green piece, because this is green here, so I'm doing green on the inside, and our center piece, which I'm going to do both of them at the same time. And I'm going to stamp in real red, and I'm going to stamp my message on the inside, which says, "May you cherish this wonder of the season now and throughout the year." So, whoops, that's a bit wonky, but a blind man would like to see it, as my mum would always say. Let's stand that up a bit straighter this time. That's better. And while we've got that, we might as well do our other bit of stamping on these pieces, and then we can chop them down. If I can get them both on this one piece, I will. Yep, I will. So I'll pop that one on that end. So I've done a Merry Christmas to go on the front as well. That way all the stamping is done. I can close my pad up. That can sit over there and dry. That one there can just sit over there ready. And we're going to glue these 2 pieces together. Now I obviously didn't cut one of these right, did I? So that's 3 by 3. This is 2 3/4 by, let's pop that one on one side. I'll do that one after. That one's going to fit on there, and I'll trim that one down in a minute when the glue finished drying on the back. That wasn't very clever, was it? Okie dokie. And then we're going to glue that into the centre of our little thing, like so. and pop our chocolate in, and we're going to then fold this starting with a peak. It doesn't matter which one, but you need a peak, and you start and you go peek in, clockwise, peek in, clockwise, peek in, clockwise, and you'll find then this one will tuck. Well, there you go. I did it wrong, didn't I? Peek in. There we go. Anti-clockwise this time. And that one goes in there like so, and it all pops together nice and neatly. We then get our piece of belly band here and pop that around the card there, and we want to just pop this over. We don't want it tight because we want to be able to slide it off, because if we make these in advance you won't want to put the chocolates in there, if you live in Australia at least, because they will go all soggy and maybe even melt, and we don't want melted ones, do we? I guess if you're living in the northern part of the world it won't be too bad because it's colder, but here in Australia it's quite warm over Christmas most of the time. Put a bit more on this side here, just a little bit extra glue there, and pop that over the top like so. Just wait for that to dry a bit. Right, making sure that this will now slide up and down nicely, and then we can chop this saying in half because I only need half of it. The other half will go on the other one, and I'll pop this onto a couple of dimensions. And onto the front of the thing, and there we have it. There's our little table favour. Isn't that such a gorgeous idea? Now you could use any kind of mince in there, or I think you can buy the ones that are Turkish Delight flavoured or whatever, but they just make a really nice little gift to put on the table for Christmas. So I'm going to do 5 projects like this. This is number 1 over the course of the week, so there'll be tiny little projects, 1 each day. So, but we're going to do 2 for this one only because I'm going to show you how to do the same project again without the board. So let's pop that one on the side, and we're going to bring in our pieces again, and this time I'm going to just trim this down now to 2 3/4 inches. I am when I get it on the board. There we go. It might be a bit off centre, but it's only a table favour, so it's not going to be an issue. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do it on this board, and it's easier with a pencil. And we're going to put a little mark at the 2 1/4 inch mark. So we're just going to put a little mark there like so, and then we're going to slide this across to 3 3/4 inches, and we're going to put another mark with our pencil. We're going to turn this 90 degrees, and we're going to do this again. We're going to put this in at the 2 1/4 inch mark and put a mark, and down to the 3 3/4 inch, put a mark. Turn it, 2 1/4, 3 3/4. Turn it, 2 1/4. Oops, let's get that right in the middle. And 3 3/4. Right, so once we've done that, we're going to now make sure we don't use our cutting board, our cutting one, and we're going to pop this in here. Doesn't matter where we start, at the 2 1/4 inch mark here, and bring down to the 3 3/4 inch mark on the next section around, and we're going to score. And then we're turning it and put the 2 1/4 inch mark at the top and the 3 3/4 inch mark at the bottom in the score area, and score it again. And we're going to turn it again and put the 2 1/4 and the 3 3/4 inch at the bottom, and score it one more time, and then again for the last side, 2 1/4 to 3 3/4 inch mark. And we can score that one more time, just making sure that we do not use our cutting. And as you can see, we've got 4 triangles here again, so we can cut those 4 triangles out, making sure that we cut away the score line. So because of that, you probably won't even see those marks at all, but if you wanted to cut, you can actually rub them out with an eraser. I won't do that today because of wasting time. So we've done that and we've cut them out, and now we can bring in our other scoreboard again and score this at the 3/4 inch mark down to our triangle on each side. 3/4 inch mark at the top, down, down and down on all 4 sides again, making sure, did I do that one? Yes, I did. Right, and once again this will now all fold together as before. So this is where you need to just check as you put this over that there is no score lines on the sides. If there is, just give it a trim up. We can glue our sentiment on the inside like before. Now that I've cut it down to the correct size. It might be a bit off centre, but in this case I'm sure that because it's only a table favour, it's not quite so precise and needing to be. Into the middle without saying. This is optional, but I just think it just gives that little bit of extra. Pop our chocolate in, and remember we're going to fold this over, 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 over and inside. Get that in there. I'll lift that up a little bit and pop that in. Sometimes you have to give it a little bit of an ease to push it together. Pop our belly band around, which as I said was 8 1/4 by 1 inch. When we're happy with our belly band, pop our bit of glue onto the end of it. Bring it over, glue it into place. Give it a few seconds to stick. And so don't make it too tight, as I said before. And then we can pop our little Merry Christmas on the top, or our name if we're going to put them on the table as name plates. It does help if you put it on straight. There we go. There's popped my pin in my glue. I can feel that drying out already. And there they are. As I say, they measure 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And I think they make a beautiful little table favour for Christmas Day. I hope you've enjoyed number 1. Tomorrow I'll be doing another project. I don't know which one I'm doing. I've just picked them up off the side and just will make them as we go. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And I will see you tomorrow with another project. Bye for now.